Arrested for DUI while completely sober.
There's a problem in Tennessee.
The new plan to tackle this problem at the source, holding some officers accountable.
Searching for a year, the commitment from one volunteer to find missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers.
A creek cleanup delayed, the pressure from those living nearby to get the state to pay off on its promise.
And looks can be deceiving. The unusual reason home prices are dropping in the mid-state while home values rise.
Hundreds of VA staffers lose their jobs. Why one veterans group is sounding the alarm. Fox 17 News at 9 starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
We begin tonight with breaking news from the White House. President Trump says his administration cut more than 90% of the money set aside for foreign aid contracts. He says this will save the American public $60 billion. Critics say these cuts will lead, though, to starvation and the spread of disease in third world countries. Supporters say we need to take care of Americans first. Those behind some of these projects are now suing the White House.
The sooner the better.
An update now on a story you saw first on Fox 17 News about Cottontown residents lobbying the state and county to help clear debris from the banks of an area creek to help flooding.
Well, after our story aired, the Tennessee Department of Transportation said crews will tackle the problem, but the fix may take longer than some want. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar here in studio with what it took to get to this point and when people will finally see a change. Karen?
Megan, residents are relieved. Here was the issue. TDOT cleaned this side of Station Camp Creek, but there is still debris on the other side here. Take a look at how bad the flooding is because of it. It's an issue, but it's an issue that'll be fixed soon.
Cottontown's intense flooding near Station Camp Creek on the State Route 25 bridge has been unresolved for a long time. Pam Nolan lives nearby.
The water always gets over that bridge, over my mailbox, and residents can't get to their homes.
She tells me the high water is caused by debris in the northeast side of this creek. TDOT first told Fox 17 News the agency didn't clean that specific area because no work was needed, but they did clean the southwest side. After we pressed the issue, TDOT agreed to get the job done within a month.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
TDOT says potholes and fixing roads are a priority, which is what's slowing down progress.
Is a month too long for you?
No, that's okay. The sooner the better.
She never thought TDOT would agree to cleaning out this debris in the creek that she says caused a ton of problems for her and other residents, including the flooding of this roadway.
I deserve to have good roads, good bridges, and for the state to do their part and keep them cleaned out.
Because TDOT initially didn't clean up the debris, Sumner County Commissioner Jeremy Mansfield, along with a few more commissioners, wanted to take care of the problem themselves, asking the County Budget Committee for $10,000.
No.
The request was denied by the committee, so TDOT's response is a game changer.
Super happy for the citizens, very elated, and again, extremely grateful to Fox 17 for you guys doing the story.
And residents like Nolan are grateful, but say there is still more work to be done.
TEMA tells me this area isn't a floodplain, but commissioners tell me this will help lessen the blow. There's also a complication here. How did the debris, specifically the construction pieces, get there? We are tracking that down. Reporting in studio, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
If you'd like to see the impact from flooding earlier this month in greater detail, go to fox17.com and search Cottontown.
In the economy, a major financial warning for Tennessee. Experts say the state is missing out on hundreds of millions of dollars in business taxes. A new report from the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy claims that Tennessee will be shorted nearly $900 million. The group says companies are using loopholes to avoid paying their fair share.
In Operation Crime and Justice, a man with a history of impersonating police officers is free on bond now after spending less than a day behind bars. Metro Police arrested 31-year-old Lert Badicu this morning. He's charged with impersonating a licensed professional, criminal impersonation of a law enforcement officer, and 2 counts of attempted false imprisonment. Police say Badicu is a licensed security guard but can't carry a gun because he's also a convicted felon. He's been arrested several times before for the same thing.
Continuing Operation Crime and Justice, a plan to amend the state constitution to let Tennessee judges deny bail for more than just murder is moving forward at the state capitol. It's now headed to the Senate floor. Fox 17 News' Hope Salmon shows us how it would work.
Right now, only if you're convicted of murder are you denied bond, but that could change to crimes like rape, torture, and terrorism. The Senate pushed forward with their state constitutional amendment for the judge to remove the right to bail, including charges like terrorism, second-degree murder, aggravated rape of a child, rape, and torture. It's now headed to the Senate floor.
I think that there are violent people who need to be held pending trial based on the judgment of the court, based on their violent history.
Senator Jack Johnson is behind this amendment. He says he hopes it will help prevent violent people from hurting others while they're out on bail.
We heard one in the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday where an individual savagely beat his wife and his children and was arrested, was taken into custody. But again, the judge was forced to give that individual bail. This person was able to make that bail and was released and went back home and shot and killed his wife.
Examples like this are why Johnson says we need to change the state constitution, but Senate Democratic leaders don't agree this is the best solution.
So now we're creating an inequity on who gets bail and who doesn't get bail on crimes that may not be as heinous as the bar that we already set of capital offenses.
In addition to violent crimes listed, the judge could deny bail for certain offenses where a person has to serve 85% of their sentence following a conviction. Those crimes range from criminally negligent homicide to repeat drug convictions.
The bail system is put in place to protect civil liberties of every citizen in this state, and this constitutional amendment violates those civil liberties.
Another disagreement that the Democrats and Republicans have on the topic is the issue of funding for the jails. Republicans say that they can find the funds, while Democrats aren't sure that spending more money on jails is the answer. Reporting at the Capitol, Hope Salmon, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Did you think it was warm today? It was a record this afternoon. We hit 80 degrees. The record 79 set back in 1917, and it's pretty early for an 80-degree day. It is the first one of the year. Earliest, though, on record was back in 1962 on February 13th. The average first 80-degree day, however, isn't until March 29th. So once again, a very warm afternoon today. We are going to be cooling things down as this front moves through overnight tonight. It is offering some light showers here on radar up towards Trigg and Christian County, Stewart County seeing a few light showers as well. These will be the most impressive rain showers we see on radar for tonight and into the early morning hours. As this continues to move into Middle Tennessee, I think it's going to begin to break apart. So we're really not expecting too much in the way of rainfall. We'll start off with a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow morning with those temperatures hovering around 50. But as we get into the afternoon, more sunshine expected. Cooler conditions as well. Now sitting at 66, a very mild night. Lows tonight dropping back into those 40s here in Nashville. We'll talk more about the potential for strong storms going into next week. That coming up.
Tonight, leaders at Nashville's VA hospital confirmed they laid off several staffers this month who were still on probation.
Well, this comes after 2,400 Veteran Affairs employees lost their job nationwide. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chin breaks down the local impact.
We are still working to find out exactly how many of these probationary workers here at the VA hospital have been laid off, but there's still some debate on if this is a good or bad move.
Bryant Hardison served our country. He's also the president of the American Federation of Government Employees in Tennessee. Hardison says he knows of 3 former staffers at the VA Tennessee Valley healthcare system who received dismissal letters.
I am disgusted. The hospital there that I've worked at has always been understaffed.
While Hardison has not spoken with them yet personally, he says 2 were in research and 1 was a medical staff assistant. A spokesperson for the VA Tennessee Valley healthcare system says the decision will have no negative effect on veteran healthcare, benefits, or other services, and will allow VA to focus more effectively on its core mission of serving veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors. These probationary workers have been on the job 1 to 2 years. GOP Texas Representative Pete Sessions is the co-chairman of the Department of Government Efficiency Caucus. DOGE is the agency heading these federal layoffs.
And I believe the VA is very important, and we will be very pleased to engage on their behalf. But let's go to the top side. The top side is that our government is filled with at least 100,000 people that would wish to leave.
Hardison thinks even a small number of dismissals will affect the VA hospital.
They would not have hired them to fill those positions if they had not been needed. And to say otherwise is just incorrect.
The Department of Veteran Affairs says these layoffs will save the department more than $83 million per year. Reporting in West End, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Dozens of mid-state drivers charged with DUI only to have tests show they were completely sober. The push tonight to curb the issue at the source.
And bringing ideas of change into action. What 3 of President Trump's key cabinet members say they're doing to improve the country. It's a life-altering problem Fox 17 News has been investigating for over a year. Drivers charged with DUI with absolutely no alcohol or drugs in their system.
Sad but true, now a state lawmaker is pushing a bill that would bring some transparency to this process. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino now with more on the sober DUI bill.
Sir, I have not drinking.
Police body cam video from around the mid-state showing field sobriety test
I ain't that balanced. I got 75.
after test. He tested negative, but Fox 17 News uncovered more than 600 Tennessee drivers arrested for DUI despite being completely sober.
There's a problem in Tennessee.
Labrisha Beatty, a NASA engineer, experienced the nightmare in May of last year. A Tennessee Highway Patrol officer arrested her for DUI in Giles County.
He said, I want a blood test on you.
Beatty was baffled, telling the officer she doesn't drink.
I just came from planning my grandmother's funeral.
Her toxicology test confirmed Beatty was 100% clear.
Everything, of course, came back negative.
Another DUI case dismissed, but not without damaging consequences.
It threatened everything that I stand for in the community.
Since your experience, you've now spoken to state legislators about change.
There is a huge problem, and the problem centers around a lack of accountability.
Beatty sent the entire state legislature this letter.
This is the complaint that we received,
asking for a series of changes in DUI protocol. I spoke to Senator Ramesh Akbari, who introduced Senate Bill 1166, requiring the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to track sober DUI cases.
I think this legislation will really help create transparency.
It requires TBI to generate a report each year detailing all of the sober DUI arrests, including the law enforcement agency.
We want the TBI to investigate and see exactly what is going on with these sober DUIs every year.
Accountability is difficult without transparency, and right now TBI says its computer system does not filter out sober DUI data. That makes compiling it pretty difficult. It was only after Representative Lowell Russell asked TBI to total up the sober DUI arrests that the agency sorted through hundreds of records individually. The result, 609 sober people arrested in the last 7 years.
I think we need to go in more depth as far as tracking the results.
Representative Russell is also working with another department, the Tennessee Administrative Office of the Courts, in building its new $75 million court case database. He tells me administrators there are working to include toxicology results in DUI cases in the new system.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I got that balanced or not.
so these sobering arrests can be more easily traceable.
I'm doing all that I can in this effort, right, so that I can obtain some justice for what I've gone through and what others have gone through.
Senator Akbari's bill is still making its way through this current legislative session. We'll keep you updated on whether or not it passes. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Fox 17 News has been following this issue for several years now. To see all of our previous stories, go to the Fox Nashville YouTube channel and search Sober DUI. And while you're there, we invite you to subscribe.
Well, let's start off with a quiet picture here from our Metro Center camera. Overnight tonight, we can't rule out a couple showers here in town. I don't think we're going to end up with too much on the radar. We should be pretty dry as we go through the overnight. Wanted to share with you a big temperature swing today. This is pretty cool in meteorology world, at least. On an average day, especially this time of year, the average swing that we see with temperatures from the morning low to the afternoon high is about 21 degrees. Today, we had a 42-degree temperature swing. So we started out this morning at 38 degrees, and throughout the day, these are observed numbers. We hit 80 this afternoon, which was a record high. Very dry air in place, some nice warm air advection, and that helped to push these numbers into the upper 70s to 80 degrees. So something we don't see very often, starting off as cold as we were this morning and up to 80 by the afternoon. And yes, again, a record high for today. A couple weak showers for the overnight. We are cooling things down a bit for tomorrow with a front coming through. It'll still be slightly above average for this time of year. And we're keeping our eye on next week for our next rain and most likely storm chance. Those showers, speaking of rain here, continue to move more into southern Kentucky and a couple light showers through Stewart County and Montgomery County as well. Next few hours, I think the radar is going to be the most impressive that it will look for the overnight. So the good news is we're in our Code Red all clear mode right now, not tracking any strong to severe weather for the overnight tonight. Things will remain quiet. So as we walk you through the evening hours here, notice as we head after midnight, we still have a couple pockets of rain that are around, but it quickly falls apart. So cold front will push through. We'll start the day with more cloud cover for the morning hours, but notice heading into the afternoon hours, we dry out. We're looking at more sunshine for the day. The exception will be the northeast corner of the viewing area. Upper Cumberland region may see a stray shower. It'll be quick if we do see it, and will quickly clear as we head through Thursday evening into early Friday morning. And a nice dry stretch of weather looks to be taking hold of the area for the next couple of days beyond that. Thursday right around 54 at 10, 60s, low 60s will be where we're at. So it'll feel a little cooler tomorrow, but it still is a little above average for this time of year with mainly sunny skies. We are looking at next Tuesday and Wednesday right now. I've been watching this for the past couple of days, and models are still suggesting the potential for some thunderstorms and perhaps some severe weather. We will highlight where we are watching, what area we are watching now for next week, coming up a little later in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
Well, moving forward with change, what key cabinet members say they're doing to help the country.
Covering the Capitol tonight, we are hearing firsthand from some of the key people in President Trump's cabinet.
Well, we spoke with Doug Burgum, the new Secretary of the Interior, as he works to update our government's tech abilities.
We've got to give them the same tools that allow them to be just as productive as somebody in the private sector. So when Elon opens his jacket and says he's tech support, we need a lot of that because the systems in government are so outdated. We've still got places across government where people are faxing stuff to the government as opposed to doing the data entry on their end. I mean, I don't know anybody who's ever faxed an order to Amazon. I don't think that's not a thing. I mean, if you want to order from Amazon, you do the data entry yourself as the citizen. In the same way, we have to get all of these IT systems, brought into this century. Some of them are decades behind.
By doing this, Burgum says there is an opportunity to increase productivity.
Now, Lee Zeldin is the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, and he says one of the first priorities there is making sure that efficiency is in place.
Well, Zeldin says tracking grant money spending is key.
We have been looking at some of the grants that have been going out the door to identify grants that should be canceled
that aren't fulfilling any statutory obligations, that aren't even delivering really what fulfills the agency's core mission of protecting human health and the environment.
Zeldin says his agency has already canceled more than $1 million worth of media subscriptions.
Well, Brooke Rollins is the Secretary of Agriculture, and she talked with us about the rising price of eggs.
Yeah, that's hitting everybody. Rollins explains what the administration is doing about this problem.
This morning we rolled out a plan with some short-term fixes like importing eggs, repopulating more quickly the cold populations that have been, especially in Iowa and Ohio, getting those chickens back in, new chickens in to start laying. But the long term, we've got to invest and figure out how to manage this. A lot of people think vaccines are the answer, and we certainly took a really good look at that. That will be part of the sort of the investment. Will those work? But at the end of the day, the countries that use vaccines, they don't really see that much avian flu coming down. It's kind of like the flu vaccine. It works about 1 of every 3 times.
Well, Roland says any eggs imported will go through stringent testing before being sold in stores.
Sometimes something happens in the community and it bothers someone so bad they kind of dedicate their life to fixing it. This case involves Sebastian Rogers and an unrelated woman who can't stop thinking or working on his case. That story's next.
Also ahead, mid-state home prices are coming down, but home values are going up. How both of these things can be true.
Today marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Sumner County home. His mother says the 15-year-old boy with autism simply walked out of their house. As Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier shows us, the search continues to capture the hearts of Middle Tennesseans, including a Goodlettsville woman.
Terry Williams works on the Sebastian Rogers disappearance case every day of her life. She's not related to the boy, but she's been devastated by what happened and decided she had to do something about it.
Signs are on the ground.
Terry Lynn Williams has searched for Sebastian Rogers nearly 200 times in the past year, through every environment possible, in creeks, in the woods, in the dead of night, in business parking lots, everywhere and anywhere, relentless.
I'm a mom, and as a mom, I can't say what any other mom will do or would do. When a kid, when it's that close and you feel like it's just something, it's your community. This is my home. You know, I grew up in Hendersonville. I went to Beach. I graduated from Beach High School. That hits home. He's not my child. He's not. But he deserves to be found and looked for. He deserves that.
Williams marks every search site with a big green ribbon. It's Sebastian's favorite color, and it's now hanging in unlikely places all over Sumner County. Terry has also made and put up 300 signs donated by a local sign maker and passed out 6,000 flyers. It is, by all accounts, above and beyond what anyone could ever expect or even imagine.
It was just like they just dissipated it, and they were probably searching other ways, but I can't say that for sure. I just knew that I wasn't going to stop. I made a promise. And if I promise a child something, I'm not going to stop.
Williams still keeps a blanket out on her front porch to remind her that if Sebastian is alive, he might be cold or uncomfortable, even though the most optimistic people have little hope that Sebastian is still alive.
I still have hope. I still have that hope, but I'm not going to stop searching.
In fact, she has another big round of searches planned in the upcoming weeks and hopes this will help renew interest in this cold and depressing case.
I would love to see a community come together, really come together. Stop all the conspiracies. Let's just put all that to the side. Why not plan a search once a month?
Terry has 19,000 followers on her YouTube page, all about the Sebastian Rogers case. She would love some company on these upcoming searches. You can find her on YouTube at Terry Lynn. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
In Operation Crime and Justice, we are learning more about how a Rutherford County 4-year-old ended up shot over the weekend. You'll remember a 19-year-old, Talek Galashaw King, was arrested in the case. Well, now deputies say the little boy found the gun and accidentally shot himself. The Smyrna man still, though, charged with reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon and tampering with evidence. The child is expected to recover.
Still watching a couple of these showers here on radar for tonight, and thankfully it is not going to amount to too much in the rain gauge after a very active couple of days. But most of these showers here continue to push more towards Todd County and into Logan County, northern portions of the county there, and a few light showers now in northern Montgomery County, stretching from about Oak Grove just across the state line to about Oakwood there in Montgomery County. But again, light rain expected as we head through the overnight tonight. That won't amount to too much in the rain gauge. South Nashville camera here looking pretty this evening, and tomorrow morning not too chilly. We will start off in those mid-40s but climb quickly as we head into the afternoon. Notice too, for the first few hours of daylight, we've got more cloud cover in the morning hours. That will clear as we head into the afternoon, thanks to the front pushing through the area and helping to dry us out as we head more into the afternoon. Quick look at your weekend outlook here. It's looking much cooler. Yesterday looked like we may be able to salvage at least Saturday for a warm day, but the front now coming in a little earlier, and that has pushed temperatures down into the mid-50s. It is also the beginning of March, and even colder conditions expected by Sunday. So it does look to be a chilly day on Sunday, but most importantly, both days dry. We'll talk more about the potential for strong thunderstorms going into next week coming up.
The Commodores win a thriller down in College Station tonight, plus the player that says he should be the #1 overall pick. All that and more coming up next in sports.
Also ahead, lower home prices usually means the value's going down. How the opposite is true here in the Mid-State.
The Vanderbilt men's basketball team down in College Station tonight, where they've not beaten the Aggies since 2017. Certainly never an easy task, but this Commodores team has gone toe-to-toe with the best of the best this season. Vandy looked pretty good early on, especially Vanderbilt normally struggles closing out games. Titans outside linebacker Harold Landry has been one of the top players on the Titans defense the last couple of years, but now he might be saying goodbye to Tennessee. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the former Pro Bowler has been given permission by the Titans to seek a trade. Landry started every game this past season and has racked up 21 sacks in the last 3 years. Important to note that he is in the final year of his contract and is owed $17.5 million in 2025. Titans could save nearly $11 million if they trade or release him before June 1st. Now, this means that the Titans could be in need of an edge rusher, and it just so happens that the top edge rusher in this year's NFL draft spoke this morning at the Combine, former Penn State star Abdul Carter. Carter is not only viewed as the top edge rusher in this draft class, but he was also picked by ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper as the #1 overall prospect. Carter is, of course, competing with quarterbacks Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders for that #1 pick, but if you ask Carter, he believes he's the best player.
It's very important for me. You know, that's one of the goals I made before the season. Something I always talked about. It's what I work for. I feel like it's very realistic, and I feel like I'm the best player in the country, and the best player should be selected #1.
Confidence is clearly not an issue for Carter. It is important to note that he is still recovering from a shoulder injury and will not be working out this week at the NFL Combine. Jill Jolnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Looking ahead to next week when we could see strong storms.
And a new report shows home prices in one bustling mid-state county are down. We'll explain why values are still going up.
Talk about a love story, how the NFL is benefiting from Taylor Swift.
In the economy tonight, a mid-state real estate happening that we have not seen in more than a decade. The median prices of homes in Williamson County is down year to year for the first time since 2023. Joining us now with more on what this means is Erica Curry with Benchmark Realty. So help us put this sort of into perspective. Does this mean home prices are falling, which they haven't been doing and I don't remember when?
Right. Well, so our sales prices, yes, they are down year to year from January, but at the same time, our values are still there. According to Realtor.com, this is happening across the country, but we're also seeing it right here in greater Nashville and including Williamson County. And so what this means is our price per square foot is actually going up. I looked up this data myself in our local MLS called RealTrax. Our price per square footage is still going up. So our value is still there and our values are still climbing. But the hang up is that smaller homes are being sold. And so that's why it looks like year to year our sales prices have dipped.
So the houses are getting smaller, but at the same time they're getting more expensive because if you've ever bought a house, you know it's all about per square foot.
Right.
What's the take home for buyers and sellers? Does this mean that my pickings are going to be smaller, or if I'm selling a big house, I'm going to have to sell it for a little less?
Yeah, it's a great question. So for sellers, obviously your value is still there. You've not lost value. At this point anyway, it seems like we are still climbing in values. And so if you wanted to sell, then it's okay to get out there and not expect that you're going to take a hit to your sales price. At the same time, though, as a buyer, a lot of buyers might think, oh my gosh, prices keep going up. And that is a huge hurdle. Affordability is a struggle for us right now. But buyers should have some confidence in knowing that they're not investing in anything at this point anyway that has lost value. And so that's something for buyers.
And before we let you get away, so what's the price per square foot that's inching up? Because I mean, that's kind of the gold standard. I can just multiply that by how many square feet I have.
Right, right. So that varies area to area, neighbor to neighborhood, county to county, across the country even. But we're looking at here in the greater Nashville area anywhere between 150 per square foot to 300, 400, just depending on the finishes, the lot size that you have, your acreage. That's a huge one, very much in demand. And so the more in demand your facts and features are in your home, the higher your square footage is going to be.
And of course, like they say in the real estate business, location, location, location.
It's everything. You're right. You're right.
Erica Curry with Benchmark Realty, thanks so much for coming in and helping us out.
Thanks for having me.
Well, new tonight, it looks like Taylor Swift's love story is a financial windfall for the NFL. All season long, Taylor Swift watching her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, in person during the Kansas City Chiefs games. According to a report from Apex Marketing, she created a new swarm of fans, leading to $1 billion for the NFL. The marketing agency says it also included Swift's impact in media impressions in that figure.
I think the NFL should send a gift.
Yeah.
Like maybe, maybe a day like today.
Today was gorgeous. We hit 80.
Hot.
New record high.
Another record, 2 days in a row.
We were just shy of the record yesterday, but it was still 75. So, I mean, we'll take it. Yeah.
We're hanging out in that territory.
That's right. That's right. Now, it is going to cool down as we head into tomorrow. We've got that front that's coming through with some light showers as well. But,
it's like the party where they start vacuuming and it's like, time to go.
Yeah,
right?
Get out. Get out.
Yep.
Yeah, it really
80s
is.
are over. We're
It's over,
again.
people. Yes, you know, it's nice we get a couple of those days. I think, though, everybody's already in kind of spring mode now because we've had these gorgeous sunny days. Still 60 isn't, you know, too bad, and that's what we'll see going into tomorrow. Things quiet here from our Springfield camera, and no rain here up in the Springfield area just yet. Possible we could see a few showers within the next hour or two throughout Robertson County. Wind gusts at the moment. As the front comes through, I am seeing a couple gusts of wind, anywhere between 15 to 20 miles per hour. Was a bit breezy today. That definitely helped push our temperatures closer to 80 for this afternoon, but I'd say some gusts as high as 20 possible as this front works its way through the area, and you can see some of those higher gusts up in Kentucky. Out the door for tomorrow morning, we will find a stray shower toward the plateau. Otherwise, a mostly cloudy sky. Crossville sitting at 46 degrees, Clarksville around 43, and looking at upper 40s for us here in Music City. All the while looking at, again, a partly to mostly cloudy sky to start, but sunshine becoming dominant by the afternoon. Next few days here, there's the front. By tomorrow morning, as it clears the area, we're left with a mainly clear sky for Friday. Cooler conditions as we head towards the weekend with this secondary front coming through by Saturday morning. And notice it does come through dry, so we're not seeing any rain attached to it, but it is going to feel much cooler for Saturday and Sunday. Sunday morning, we'll see those temperatures near the freezing mark once again, with highs only in the mid-40s for the afternoon hours. Next week, we are looking at the potential for some showers and thunderstorms. I would not be surprised if we're tracking at least a couple strong thunderstorms here. There are several signals showing and hinting at the potential for severe weather. Storm Prediction Center is now on board with the potential for some strong thunderstorms on Tuesday. Now, I think for us, this is going to be an overnight Tuesday into Wednesday event. I think eventually we're going to be looking at a circled area across much of Middle Tennessee for the potential of a few strong thunderstorms. And again, 15% chance of severe thunderstorms. That's just because it's still pretty far out that we're talking about next Tuesday, March 5th, but does look to be fairly active even if we're not looking at a big severe weather event. The potential for some heavy rain returns to much of the area. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 60s for a few days, 55 on Saturday, 46 on Sunday, and then back to the upper 60s near 70 with that storm chance moving in Tuesday into Wednesday.
Just add a giant backlog, what it would take to fund all the state road projects that are approved in TDOT's pipeline.
And cracking the egg price hike, why McDonald's may be your new choice to get your protein fix. In the economy tonight, the mother of all backlogs, as TDOT tells state lawmakers it would take $38 billion to complete all the approved projects on the books.
That is a pile. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey tonight to show us how much the department is expected to get this budget cycle and where all these projects stand.
Well, one thing we know is TDOT has $1 billion in this year's proposed budget, but a lot of the department's revenue comes from the gas tax in the state as well. The deputy commissioner says that is currently flat right now, not keeping up with inflation. Take a look at those zeros on your screen. Tables show 4% gas tax growth in 2021 and 22, but no growth over the last 3 years. And as I was reporting on yesterday, TDOT says expenses for things like concrete pipes have doubled since 2019, labor costs going up and up as well. So they're trying to keep up right now, and representatives are suggesting ideas in hopes of offsetting shortfalls. One of those suggestions might be dipping into other revenue streams.
But if we can even use some innovation of a percentage of sales tax, and that's some questions that come up in this committee earlier, if it's a percentage of sales tax, we're open to whatever that idea may be to create some type of sum sufficient that we can help offset these numbers.
And so as for the proposed budget, the governor's office does hope that as for that $1 billion backlog, a lot of the money can go to expediting some projects. In studio, I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Holding the line why fast food giant McDonald's is not adding a surcharge for egg orders.
In the economy tonight, if you're looking for cheap eggs, you might want to go to McDonald's.
All right. Well, the fast food chain says it will not be adding surcharges on its eggs as it prepares for a major deal on its signature Egg McMuffin. McDonald's says customers can get an Egg McMuffin for just $1 on Sunday when they order on the app.
Now, this announcement comes as some other fast food chains are adding surcharges to their orders because of the rising cost of eggs.
I'm Christine Frizzau in Washington, where the Trump administration effort to arrest as many undocumented migrants as possible has escalated. A peek into the new strategy ahead.
Taking a few selfies these days, I'm Liz Bonus. Why it may help your doctor learn more about your face and your body. We explain just ahead.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
fantastic. That's awesome.
Continuing coverage tonight as the Tennessee Department of Transportation steps up and agrees to clear debris from Station Camp Creek in Cottontown.
Well, this promise after Fox 17 News first showed you the flooding trouble that debris created. Fox 17 News, Karen Aguilar here in studio to break down the plans.
Megan, Scott, for a long time, residents have been battling floods on the roadways and in their driveways. They say the debris on the northeast side of the Station Camp Creek at the State Route 25 bridge caused the high water. But now there is light at the end of the tunnel. TDOT first told Fox 17 News the agency didn't clean that specific area because, quote,